Used to go to Lamont Bentley crib on Sundays, and he used to have gang members over there. And it was these kids from New York called the Black Rose family. And these guys were 5%ers. And they were my peoples. My man Blaze, they were New York Nick. We had a whole New York crew, but we connected. And Lamont had his Nick from the hood. Lamont is from Milwaukee, but he was hanging with Nick from the hood. He had his hood Nick. And we used to go to Lamont Bentley crib on Sundays, and it was kind of like a church thing. Gang members, Nick 5%ers, and we would build for hours, smoke weed, drinking, but Nick be talking about all types of real shit.
Just after midnight on January 19th, 2005, a man who had just been at a film screening, laughing, talking, completely fine, got into his Mercedes and drove away. Less than an hour later, he was dead. No alcohol, no drugs, no explanation, just a stop sign blown through, a fence torn apart, and a body ejected onto a freeway where 5 cars hit him before anyone could even stop. That man was Hakeem Campbell. Or rather, the man who made Hakeem Campbell one of the most loved characters in 90s black television. His name was Lamont Bentley, and almost 20 years later, people still don't buy the official story. If you grew up watching Moesha, you know exactly who Hakeem was. The always hungry neighbor, Moesha's right-hand man, the one with the wit, the energy, and the charm that made you feel like he was your friend too. But before he was Hakeem, Lamont Bentley was just a kid from Milwaukee's North Side who practiced signing his autograph at age 12. He knew he was going to be famous, he just didn't know how soon it would be taken away. When Lamont was a teenager, his mother Lois, an aspiring singer, packed up and moved them both to Los Angeles. She was chasing her own dream. What nobody expected was that her son would walk into every room and steal all the attention before she even opened her mouth. Casting directors started gravitating to him. One person told him to get into acting. He dropped out of high school and never looked back. He worked odd jobs in movie theaters and fish markets while grinding for auditions. In 1986, he landed a Starburst commercial as a child. By 1994, he had his first real TV role on South Central. And in 1995, he played a terrifying gang member named Crazy K in Tales from the Hood, showing he had real range long before Moesha made him a household name. When Ralph Farquhar created Moesha and needed someone to play Hakeem, the lovable, street-smart neighbor with a thing for the lead, he didn't think too hard about who he wanted. He'd seen Lamont on South Central, and that was enough. Lamont appeared in 127 episodes of Moesha across 6 seasons. And when the show ended in 2001, instead of fading out, he just kept building. He showed up in the Parkers spin-off. He played Tupac Shakur in the MC Hammer biopic Too Legit. He starred alongside Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg in The Wash. Spike Lee cast him in Sucker Free City. And on top of all that, he was putting together a rap group called Uprise with 2 partners, Marsha Meeks and Tyson Pearson. An album was in the works. His career trajectory was pointing straight up. But what most people didn't know is what Lamont was doing off camera. He had gone back home to Milwaukee and started the Lamont Bentley Foundation, distributing money to local nonprofits, going back to show young people that they could make it out. When he was arrested at a charity basketball game, he organized. Just because he stepped in to defend one of his friends when police got aggressive, it didn't even dent his spirit. He just kept going. People who knew Lamont said the same thing over and over. It wasn't about fame for him, it was about love. Before we get to Lamont's death, we have to talk about what shook him first, because it matters. In November 2002, Moesha castmate Merlin Santana, who played Ohagi on the show and Romeo on the Steve Harvey Show, was murdered in South Central Los Angeles. He was sitting in a car with a friend when it was shot 6 times. The whole thing was set up by a 15-year-old girl named Monique King, who falsely accused him of assaulting her. Her boyfriend tracked him down and pulled the trigger. Merlin was 26 years old. People who were close to Lamont say that Merlin's death changed him. He had been someone who moved freely through the hood. New York, LA, it didn't matter. After Merlin, he stopped. completely. Lamont heard that and made a decision. He was focused. He had 2 daughters. His career was finally at the level he always knew it would be. He wasn't about to let street life take what he'd built. So when January 2005 came, and Lamont was the one who ended up dead, none of the people closest to him could make sense of it. January 18th, 2005. Lamont had just attended a film screening. People who were with him that night said he was in great spirits, laughing, connecting, looking forward to what was next. His manager at the time described him as being in a great place, emotionally, physically. Everything was going right for him. After the screening, he got in his Mercedes alone and got on Highway 118, heading toward Simi Valley, about 30 miles northwest of Los Angeles. Just after midnight, witnesses saw his vehicle moving at high speed toward the Rocky Peak Fire Road off-ramp. He ran through a stop sign. The car tore through a chain-link fence across the street, rolled down an embankment, and ejected him through the moonroof into live freeway traffic. 5 cars hit him before anyone could stop. He was pronounced dead at 12:23 a.m. The official cause, multiple blunt force injuries. Toxicology came back clean, no alcohol, no drugs, nothing. So what happened? That's the question that's never gone away. People don't drive like that, at that speed, through a stop sign, down an embankment, cold stone sober and in their right mind, unless something made them. Some people close to Lamont have never believed it was an accident. The theory that circulates most is that the brakes on his car were tampered with, that someone who knew his route that night, someone from the streets who was jealous of his come-up or had unfinished business, set him up. Lamont was someone who let people in. He didn't close himself off. Even when he stepped back from street life after Merlin's death, he was still generous. He still opened doors and brought people around, and not everyone was happy about his success, his money, or his standing. Brandy, who played Moesha and was one of his closest castmates, has never accepted the accident narrative. She believes something happened behind the scenes. She's raised the idea that his time in the hood caught up with him, that someone he'd had conflict with used that night as an opportunity. His family has also pushed for years to have the case reopened, saying the original investigation didn't go far enough. The case has been officially closed for 2 decades, but it's never felt closed to the people who loved him. Lamont Bentley is buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in the Hollywood Hills, not far from some of the biggest names in entertainment history. His daughters Artesia and Brazil were left without their father at ages 7 and just a few months old. He was 31. 1 month before his death, he was on set. 1 week before his death, he was hanging out, catching up with people he hadn't seen in a minute. 1 night before his death, he was at a film screening, smiling, talking about what was next. And then, just like that, he was gone. The way it happened doesn't sit right. 5 cars, no substances, high speed, clean exit from a party. The people who knew him don't believe it. Brandy doesn't believe it. His family doesn't believe it. Maybe it was a freak accident, or maybe someone made sure that night went the way it did. Either way, Lamont Bentley deserved more time, more movies, more music, more moments with his daughters, more of everything. Rest in peace, Lamont. Peace.